he has been a good traveller. I've just seen him sign a contract extension at Nottinghamshire, which means he's doing exceptionally well. Nerishan Diguelo, disappointing way to get out. I don't mind seeing him getting out sweeping, but not reverse lapping. It is a go-to shot for him. He didn't have to play it at that point in time.
See, this is the advantage when you play against colleagues, where they know exactly what to do with you. As you said, all his go-to shots were blocked. So he was looking to manufacture one. And the thing about Gunaratne was that he took so much of pace off the ball, and it was an easy shot for him to try and execute. He had to use all the power he had.
Yeah, I just think that's too high risk for the reward that he was going to get. Rather just hit it straight down the ground. There's big pockets out there. He's quick between the wickets, and he can get through and increase the scoring rate that way.
I think it's really simple. He's too good a player to get out like that. Really simple in my book. Cannot just throw your wicket away.
You're right, Hazy. And I think what we're going to see today is pace off the ball. Rashan, you mentioned it earlier. I think pace off the ball is almost the way to go here.
I think that would be done by guys like this, but looking at Dilruwan, one ball to go, he was looking to fire the bowling, nothing in the surface for him. So that's a single off the last ball. It's 5 runs and a wicket, 58 for 1.
Tiangnya Dili. Thank you.
$58 for 1. 7 overs completed. Dilruwan Pereira continues. Just let's take a look at the way Dilruwan bowled. In the previous over to Diguelo, he touched 95 Ks, and he's looking to fire the ball. He's not getting anything off the surface. And you could see that that's exactly what he's trying to do. He's just trying to change it up a little bit. He's not getting anything off the surface.
No, very experienced bowler, Dilruwan Pereira. He will know that his weapon here has change of pace. There's not a lot of purchase in the wicket. He's got to change his pace up.
Ball, Dele, ball. Come on, Dele, ball.
These overs are going through fairly quickly as well, so this is an opportunity for the Tuskers, and they've certainly have slowed things down considerably. Suddenly runs are becoming hard to come by, and that's what happens when you lose a wicket like that with Diguelo. Suddenly a new batsman comes out, he doesn't get much strike, and then suddenly you get a situation where runs are not coming as freely, and boundaries in particular are not coming freely.
Every time I see the off-spinner bowling, particularly Dilruwan Pereira, no complications, nothing sophisticated about his action, so simple. An old-fashioned off-spinner coming in and playing T20 cricket. I mean, today the modern off-spinner is so different.
Ball.
That's a 1 only, so 2 runs off this over so far, and there's just 1 ball remaining.
He's been very impressive this over, Dilruwan. A lot of experience. He bowls particularly well here in the subcontinent. Hasn't played too much white ball cricket for Sri Lanka. Been a stalwart for Sri Lanka in Test cricket, but he's doing a really good job for the Kandy Tuskers today.
And that is a top over. That is really well bowled. Suddenly you get a situation where you're closing towards the 10th over, and you only concede 3. That is brilliant. 61 for 1.
mari bola mai, dah dah mai. Seko. Anjula.
Now that Manhattan graph tells a story. The first 5 overs conceding 45 runs, the next 4 16 only. So that's how things have dropped away pretty quickly. Now we've got sponsors on board for this tournament. We've got some of these actually in the back of the commentary box. Munchie Komi, the #1 biscuit brand in Sri Lanka. That's a flavourable rice cracker. Nice with a cup of coffee as well. I saw Rashan having a couple of those earlier. One of his favourites.
Yeah, indeed. It's a top Sri Lankan brand, I must tell you.
What, Rashan or Munchie Komi?
Munchie.
I've had a lot of Munchie Kume since I've been here, Hazy. They are proper.
Baru ni ke tangan. Ball, Asiana, ball.
Again, it's just the single. Righto. So this has now put a little bit of pressure, I would imagine, on the overseas pro. Just to try and break the shackles a little bit. Trying to get things going for the Viking team. Dambulla Viking team.
Yeah, we see this often. They've managed to control the rate just outside the power play. So something's going to happen.
Ball.
I think one thing that they've done very well when it comes to Upul Taranga is to bowl straight at him. I really didn't see too much of width to Taranga. They were bowling more off stump, more in line with the stumps, where he's not been allowed to expose or expand on his shots through point and through extra cover.
If they continue at this rate, they won't get 150. So that's got to change. Now this might be out. It is out. That's also what happens. Runs dry up. They try and do something expansive. Straight down the throat of the man at long on. Another wicket.
Yeah, that was just the pressure. Pressure, built up. The pressure built. Something was going to happen. Out. Caught long on. He needed to play a big shot, Upul Taranga.
Yeah, perfect line. He had to go for it. So Taranga has to go. Out for 18, it's 64 for 2.
Right, that's the end of the strategic timeout. An opportunity for the players to regroup. Also, I guess, grab a can of Red Bull, one of our sponsors in the LPL, Lanka Premier League. Recharge their batteries and get going for the next phase. That's worked a little bit wide. They might be thinking about 2 to side against that. 65 for 2.
බෝලකට බේකට එකක් තියන් යනවද? වෙන්න. ඉතල මාරෙන්න ඕනේ මූණ බලන්න ඕනේ. බෝබි දෝසෙක. හරිද?
Shanaka has just arrived. He's off the mark with a single. So 9 overs gone, almost at the halfway mark. It's now been 26 balls between boundaries. And that's now 27, so we'll keep an eye on that. But that may well have been something that was on the batsman's mind when the wicket fell, when they're trying to score a boundary.
Yeah, that was just
2 minutes ago.
Sorry, Hazy, that was just the build-up of pressure. Really it was. I'm big raps for Dustin Shanaka. He's got a big innings to play here, and I'm sure he'll rise to the occasion.
So slip in for the leg spinner, obviously looking for some wickets. And it's an important phase as far as the batting side is concerned, the Viking, because they need to try and have a stable base. It's still the 10th over, lot of overs left. So this man, look at his strike rate, close to 150. And he is someone who can really hit the long ball.
Good numbers.
Ball,
Good captaincy too, I think, bringing in a wrist spinner at this stage in the surface. There is a bit of grip around. Batsman under pressure.
Yeah, we spoke the other day about Kuzal Jannath. He's been on the money today. Duran Pereira to the 2 left-handers. Prasanna on now to the 2 right-handers.
Still just the singles, nothing expansive. So that run rate is dropping. 69 for 2.
Couple of runs here, but only a single. But the good thing about this surface is plenty of runs available. I mean, you can if you have wickets in hand and you've got the set batsman, 60, 70, 80, 90 runs in the last 5 overs, very possible.
Optimistic shout. End of the over. 5 from it, 70 for 2.
Well, that's also the Fernando for you. He had to retire. He was carried off. Well, he's now just wheeled back. Well, let's hope that it's nothing serious, because as we know, he's on the test tour to South Africa. Pradeep's back. Oh, splits the gap. Keeper and slipped. And that wicket, how important do you think it would have been? Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Big wicket. And one must have to say, Kusal has captained the side very well in this game. Placed a slip. The bowler created a chance. Wasn't to be. The fielder wasn't able to hold on to it. Well, that's a lid off.
Spoke about that balancing act in terms of attack and defense. He's attacking now, he's searching for another wicket.
I think Mickey made the point about Kusal being on the money about the way he used his bowlers. The off spinner to the left-handers, the leg spinner now on at a time when Viking are under some pressure and the time that they can get some wickets.
What I want to say is, if you look at what transpired after the power play overs, in 3 overs, they only conceded 12 runs, they built pressure, and they picked up 2 wickets. So he's able to read the ebb and flow of the game, which is so crucial in terms of instinct to have as a captain.
That's in the air. Oh. Well, the Safani player has to improve his fielding. This is not the first time. This is the 3rd time he has coughed up a chance.
Another look. In fairness, it was going away from him. But yes, he should have covered a little bit more ground. He should have been a little bit more quicker.
Exactly. Coming back to Kusal, his captaincy. I think when he was under pressure, the batsmen were challenging his bowlers. He stayed calm. He kept on thinking, what are the right options? He wasn't in the previous game. And that's the key, isn't it? Stay calm under pressure. It'll help you make right decisions. Well, at the moment, Kandy Tuskers have the stranglehold of the game. And just because the bowlers has managed to tether the batsmen. In the process, they have picked up 3 wickets. Beg your pardon, 2. There was every chance of picking up the 3rd one. Miscued the run up.
Spoke about downloading the My 11 Circle app. And I'm challenging all of you out there with the app to select the MVP players for this contest. I hope you can select the top 5 players and make sure you get the most points.
I was hoping it would be Dick Weller, and certainly hoping that Dasun Shanaka might figure. Punched. Very good shot. Very little bat lift. But the sound, such a sweet sound hitting the middle of the bat. Timing perfect.
The reason why he was able to hit that ball into the gap with sheer timing, stayed on the leg stump, created a bit of room for himself to work the ball on the arm side, and just thumped the ball past extra cover. My 11 Circle champion boundary that was.
.13 runs in the over. Short delivery, where has that gone? That is another one. That is another My 11 champion shot to end the over. 87 for 2, 11 completed.
Come on, Laban!
An expensive last over, 17 runs coming from it.
Shanaka on strike. He's a big hitter, I'll tell you. He's got a record for the most number of sixers one season, that's from Shanaka.
Two chances in that over. Imagine if they were taken, you wouldn't have seen these strokes. It was a long hop, short pitch delivery, easy pickings for a batsman like Samit.
Also, he went very deep in his crease to give himself time to play the ball square off the wicket. That's an approach that some batsmen use in T20 cricket.
Well, Kusal Mendy's going off. I think his split is waving. That's not good news. That is not good news at all. Well, let's try and show you these drop chances Amir was talking about. One went through the slips, the other one at long on. Take a look.
Spoiled the over, didn't it? And at this level, they were not difficult. Should have been taken. And after that, he conceded 2 boundaries. Kusal is busy as a captain.
Powerfully driven. Good work in the deep. As long as the Viking can have their captain, he's the type of player who could destroy bowling attacks. He can really hit the long ball. Powerful player.
Their situation is such. They're under pressure. And the pressure on the batsman is ramping up. And you know, anybody can hold the helm when the sea is calm. You need a skipper to deal with a rough sea and difficult situations.
Another fumble in the field. This must be disappointing for Kusal Pereira. An injury to Kusal Mendes now. A blunder in the fielding. Runs flowing here now for Viking.
The fielder must have been thinking now, after this fumble, where should I hide? Where should I hide? This is embarrassing.
Spoken about the quality of cricket we have seen, but that's an area that needs to be improved. Fielding. Another quick single. It ends the over. It's 93 for 2.
My 11 Circle MVPs. I spoke about the 5 players that you can select at the top right now. Sela Gunaratne for his 2 wickets for 20 runs from 3 overs. He could improve in terms of the points, still with an over left. Roshan Dikwela, who had a good start with the bat, also there. Taranga, Gurbaz and Mendes.
93 for 2. Naveen. See, if you look at particularly Samit Patel, the way he sets himself up. This is Upul Taranga. And the slower delivery. Asela Gunratha mixed it up quite well. The lines were good to Taranga. Never bowled to his strength.
This is all about diligence, and you know diligence is the mother of good luck. You have to glean the information against the opposition, and that's how you do well. The bowler hasn't done well, Naveen. After dropping the catch at long on, he has bowled a long hop. Gave enough time to the batsman to decide where to hit that ball. Opted over mid-off. And my 11th circle champion boundary that was.
I didn't think he was intending that to be so short, Naveen ul Haq, and so wide. Just sat up to be struck. That was better directed. And unfortunately, wouldn't get the result. He was attempting to rush the batsman, maybe to lure him into a false shot. brings up the 100 now for the Dambulla Viking.
Yeah, surprised by the bit of bounce, as you did see, but Dasun Shanaka said onto him quickly. That was a good change of pace.
Now that's how he picked up 2 wickets in the previous game. Bowling shot. Picked up Chandimal.
He's mixing it up. He's mixing it up a lot.
Of course, the Cycle Incense Fair Play Award, an award for teams in this league and teams that demonstrate the best spirit of the game. Each team receives points, and those points are awarded by the match umpires based on the team's conduct. So that's an area of the game that teams will be looking at.
So the current rate, the Viking would get to around 159, 160, but I don't think they'll be happy with that. Looking at the way this pitch has behaved and the way it has played, I think the par score should be around 200.
Yeah, especially with the fact, looking at the lineup of Candy Tuskers, 170 on a pitch like this, which is a belter, should be walk in the park for them.
Last ball of the over. That's a wide. That's a wide. But having Samit Patel and Dasun Shanaka together, that must be comforting the Vikings a lot, because the experience they carry, if you look at the body language of particularly Samit Patel, he looks unhurried, unruffled. He's so calm.
Yeah, without making any noise, they have managed to ascend the run rate, which was plummeting. And now they're looking dangerous. They're threatening the opposition to pose a big total. And again, well-timed stroke from Samit Patel. He favors that area on the offside. And poor bowling, one has to say. End of the over, it's 106 for 2.
The momentum's back with the Viking. 36 runs in the last 3 overs. And mind you, one of them just cost 6 runs. So 17 runs to Pradeep, 13 runs to Naveen. And suddenly it appears that the Tuskers seem to be a bit wavered. They're all over the place.
And that's why he's gone to his premier bowler. Prasanna, the leg spinner.
Ball.
And needs to break this partnership. Is threatening them now.
The other thing I think we need to recognize is bowlers, just like batsmen, need to operate in partnership with each other. Naveen ul Haqi's had a horrid time. Hasn't been able to consistently find his lengths, either down the leg side or through the offside. But when you look at when Dilruwan Pereira and Gunaratne bowled, they created the pressure to get wickets, and that is what Kusal Pereira will be thinking about. Hasn't been able to find other bowlers with that type of partnership.
See, about Prasanna, just look at the way he bowls. Now, if you look at Dilruwan Pereira's pace, he was in the low and the mid-90s. He was firing the ball in. But by contrast, Prasanna is looking to try and loop it. He's bowling between 82 to 85. Thereby, you could see that he's looking for some turn. But this time, Samit Patel just going inside out. That's a classic shot for 6.
Always a pleasure to see such a stroke executed inside out, hitting the ball in the air and over the rope for the maximum. Yeah, you're right. Roshan made it look so easy. It was effortless, wasn't it? Footwork was good too.
Always going to happen in T20 cricket. Sometimes good deliveries get punished.
Ball.
And that's 50 now, this partnership. So a good one here for Dambulla Viking. I also would like to see spinners be a little more creative. We've seen them operate either from over the wicket. I'd like to see them bowl a couple deliveries in an over from around. Just change the angle. Sometimes those subtle differences can make a huge difference.
Another single. So 9 runs off the over. It's not a bad over for Prasanna, just that 6 and 3 singles. 115 for 2. 14 overs completed. And right, it's going to be the strategic timeout. It's 115 for 2. Well, Dambulla Viking 115 for 2 at the end of 14 overs. They got 36 balls remaining. At 12 and over, they'll get to close to about 190. You reckon? 190?
Well, if they get there, they'll be quite happy, Dambulla Viking. But I think what it also gives, it gives an opportunity for many of the players back at the hotel looking on, a chance to see what they should do when they get their opportunity. Fast bowling, very much in focus. And I'm sure we're going to see fast bowlers improve as we go through this tournament in terms of their lengths, their lines, their strategies as well. We've seen quite a few strategies so far from the fast bowlers.
Just short, or was it dropped? Didn't he get across? I don't know. Dilruwan Pereira is the fieldsman. But the end result is a boundary.
It just pinked off the bat, didn't it? Yes, it was spaced up. The batsman needed to hit the ball away from the fieldsman. That's what he did. Although the fieldsman tried his level best. My 11 circle. Champion shot that was.
leg side, I think. Oh, that's given. Goodness, I thought it was going down the leg side. And right, let's see what happens here. My initial reaction, I thought it was going down the leg side. I hope I'm right.
Well, usually the wicketkeeper gives you a little bit of a cue as to the angle the delivery was. If the wicketkeeper was angling down the leg side, you would think the ball was sliding down. Let's have a look. Down the line. No leg stump to be seen. Surely going down the leg side. So that's a good review.
Yeah, let's see. That was my first impression also. No real bat there, so it's the next frame that will tell us whether it's actually hitting or clipping or going down the leg side. Clipping would mean it's out, because the umpire's decision is out. Because it'd be an umpire's call. Let's see whether there's anything here. No, there's nothing. A lot of daylight.
The only thing you have to see there is, did the ball hit its line or not? Because the angle was always taking the ball towards the leg stump or maybe outside. And I think missing. It didn't. Held its line. That's what saved the batsman.
Actually, that's what I thought. My first impression from here. So it was a very, very good review indeed.
See, Terran, I was making a point. The bowlers, especially the faster bowlers, they need to find out the method, how to bowl on belters like this. You know, on the pitch report, I was asked this question. I mentioned a few short pitch deliveries, heavy balls, and also once batsmen are looking to go after you, they're aiming from mid-off to square leg. Anything in the swing, even an inside edge is going to go. So why not try the batsman out outside the off stump, ball outside the off stump. Don't bowl wicket to wicket. You're playing in batsman's hand. Think differently.
I spoke about fast bowlers and what they should be doing on good batting conditions. Yes, the Yorkers are good deliveries, but have a look at this. Naveen ul Haq, short delivery and wide, was punished for 4. But the second delivery is where you want to get that short delivery lined up. Straight onto the wicket, straight onto the batsman. That's over pitch and that's punished.
This is what I was telling you about Dasun Shanaka. This is what he could do. And the mistake was that he went full. And Shanaka loves long off and long on.
And wicket to wicket. Back of the length. What were you thinking as a bowler? Was there any chance for you to excel? None. Think otherwise. That's the idea.
2 balls to go in the over. They've already got 12. Dasun Shanaka on strike. Short delivery, swing and a miss. That's a wide. Rubbing salt into the wound, as they might call it. This young man, he's struggling a bit. A 4, a 6. The review overturned, and now a wide.
Just don't look anywhere. When you see the replay, just look what the batsman was trying to do. He just swung his bat. He was aiming to hit towards mid-wicket. And since the ball was outside the off stump, no contact. Food for thought for the bowlers.
That's a better length. The delivery that was struck down the ground was in the slot, and that's a length that you don't want to be bowling at this stage of the innings as a fast bowler. Should have been aiming either for the Yorker delivery, and we mentioned if you're going short, you've got to get it head height and at the batsman. Can't allow batsman to free his arms, especially when your third man is up and your fine leg is up.
Last ball of the over. And punched behind point. That with another slower delivery, not the greatest fielding. And a couple of runs and another big over. can tell you that Dambulla Viking are looking much better at this stage. It's 131 for 2, 15 overs completed.
Right, 5 overs to go, 131 for 5 it is. If they go at 10 no from here, they get to 181, 12 no over to 191. And Patel is clearly going to be the key. Shanik is playing really nicely as well, so this stand is very healthy. Just a single off the first ball. You got some news for us, I think, Mickey. What's the news of the injury?
Yeah, Dr. Deminda, our very, very good team doctor, and our head of sport at the High Performance Centre, Paul Curry, have said that it's a grade 1 AT-IFL, whatever that means, but they assured me it's not too serious. So that's good news on the Ashada Fernando front.
Okay, that is good news. Let's hope we see him on the park pretty soon as well. I'm sure it's going to be a few days on the sidelines. Slow ball that time, nicely weighted.
Been very impressed with this partnership. I think these guys have both played well. They came in under a little bit of pressure. They consolidated, and they are setting themselves up now for the back end. Very impressive.
Crucial last 4.5 overs for both teams. In a day game, I'd say the pass score is slightly lower than in a night game.
69 is the partnership at the moment, of 42 deliveries now.
Because of the dew factor. In the night, when it gets cooler, the pitch becomes easy to bat on. Gripping the ball could be harder, but in this instance, bowling second, you will be in the game and compete. So 160, 170 is par, I'd say here. Good to see Osha the Fernando back here. That's what happened. Didn't look good at all. Mickey Arthur, I saw you frown at that stage.
I did frown, but our very good medical staff have assured me he should be good.
Short ball, pumped away for 6. That is nicely played. Needed that, couple of singles off the first couple of balls off the over, a dot ball, and now a big boundary.
And a few more shots like that will make him feel even better.
He's a very good player, Dasun Shanaka. His role is one where he finishes, but he's a better batsman than that. He hits the ball incredibly hard. He times the ball very sweetly. And the good thing is he plays equally well of front and back foot, which makes him very dangerous at the back end.
Uses long levers.
Very, very good cricketer, Dasun Shanaka.
2 balls left in the over. Such an important period now of this game. Of course, the Tuskers went down in the first game after unbelievably scoring 219 when they batted and lost in the super over. So this is a huge game for them as well. And this is the first outing for the Dambulla Viking team.
The one thing I'll say is obviously with the Candy Tuskers, they've had a game here and clearly didn't defend 219. I think today their plans have been a lot better. I think their field placings have been a lot better. And we've seen them bowl to these field placings, which has been quite impressive.
I'm going to remind you, Mickey, they got absolutely hammered. They got pasted to all parts in the last 3 overs. Don't speak too soon.
Yeah, but they're good signs. They're good signs out there.
Right, we'll wait and see. Okay. Can the Viking side, can the Dambulla Viking side get to 200? That'll be some going. Bowl that one again.
My point there, though, was, Hazy, and I agree, we don't know what's going to happen in terms of the bowler's execution, but clearly Hassan Tilikaratne, Faviz Maroof, Irfan Pathan have got together and they formulated a plan which was probably lacking just a little bit the other night. And their field placings, I think today have been fairly good. You know, we saw Nirishan Dikwela arguably lose his wicket because of the field placing where they cut him off. So kudos to Hashan Talikaratne and his coaching staff.
Arguably lost his wicket for a poor shot too. That's cracked away. And that's 4 runs. Short and wide, you've got to put those away in T20 cricket. 16 overs gone, 145 for 2. .51 runs off the last 4 overs. That's given him a nice little spurt. 4 overs remaining in the innings now.
And it's always after batsmen have given themselves a chance to get used to the pace of the wicket, the conditions. We've always seen that partnerships tend to flourish. Rarely is it from the word go. So even if you lose a few quick wickets, you've got to back yourself and build that partnership. You can stay competitive. Short, wide, sitting up on this pitch, friendly pace.
It's almost exactly the sort of ball you're waiting for. It's a dream ball, last ball of the over, when you want to finish off in style. And he did Samit Patel.
Yeah, as coaches, you're always talking about the start of your over and the exit of your over. And that was just a very, very loose delivery to finish off with.
Tell you what, I'm sure if you've been busy and downloading the app, the my11circle.com web page, and downloaded the app and been playing with some champions and picking your team and having some fun, you would have been pretty busy. We've seen some really good action so far. Some star players have been performing. Some key players have been doing the business. How's this weather looking, by the way, Russ?
It's getting a little gloomy. Nothing gloomy for this Viking, but for the Candy Tuskers, it's running away from them as the 150 comes up.
That's a My 11 circle champion shot, that one, that's for sure. Look at the way he just gets down on the one knee over the top of the keeper.
Dustin Shanaka works incredibly hard on that shot. He practices a hell of a lot and he executes it with a lot of accuracy.
And that's reading the game, because the first 2 deliveries from Pradeep were full. Pradeep is very good, and at this stage, that's the length he'll look for. So you've got to have an answer, and this is the answer that lots of batsmen have come up with of late.
Full toss, hammered, straight down the ground for 6 runs. See, there's the big overs now. This is going to make a massive difference. Brilliant work from the captain.
750 in T20 cricket for Dasun Shanaka. It's come in very quick time, 28 balls. It's not easy to hit one, Pradeep. But a full toss at this time. You mentioned the short and wide delivery. Full toss at knee height is what you're looking for again. Slices that. Just the one. You were talking about the coaching staff in the Candy Tuskers den. There's Nuwan Kulasekara. He's the fast bowling coach. We all know about Kulasekara and what he knows and what he can do.
Yes, I forgot to mention Nuwan Kulasekara. I mean, his experience for Sri Lanka has been amazing. What a cricketer he was.
Reacting to the applause from his teammates. Patel on strike. Last ball of the 17th over. Slow ball, fine. Patel's going to retain the strike. It's another big over. 14 runs from that over. 17 overs gone. 159 for 2 now. partnership between Shanaka and Patel is worth 95 off just 52 deliveries now. 3 overs remaining in the innings, and this is where it fell apart for the Tuskers in their first game.
3 spinners, all bowling 3 overs each, going at 6, and even less than 7 in over. As Kusal Perera missed a trick there. Could he have used them a little earlier?
He possibly could have, Russ, and I think it just shows the day game. I think the ball will grip and stick just a little bit more.
Just 2 players who can play spin well, Samit Patel and Dasun Shanaka. But does that mean you don't bowl spin? It's a situation where they've been doing well.
No, I think you're right. I think he's possibly missed a trick there because pace off the ball we spoke about earlier on our earlier commentary stint seemed to be the go.
That has gone for 6 runs. That is very good connection. This time it's from Patel. Again, it's a good way to start the over. He brings up yet another 50 in T20 cricket.
30th for Patel. Bang, bang. Samit Patel. This partnership also goes past the 100 figure. 54 balls. Here we go. Just on that spin, Mickey. Is it a case of always planning on the opposition and forgetting your strengths or what's working for you?
I think so. And when you set up, you've also got to have a look at what your best options are. And they went away from their best options with their spin.
Just lost his shape a little bit there, did Patel. Nicely bowled as well, just following him as he backed away a little bit. 100 stand between these 2 guys is up now. This is some going. Really impressive. 69% boundary count.
You asked about the weather. Yeah, the clouds have built a little bit and I hope it gets blown away because there is a strong wind.
Had enough time to wait for that, and he split the gap as well. 1 bounce and that's gone for 4. That's another My 11 circle champion shot.
You guys did speak about the last 3 overs, and they haven't started these last 3 overs particularly well. You still need your bowlers to execute in the back end, irrespective whether you get your field positions right. Their field positions, I thought, have been excellent today, but their execution in the last 2 overs hasn't been great at all.
And I think they've been hit off their lengths, really. I think that's the bottom line right now. They're not too sure what lengths they should be bowling to try and keep this partnership quiet. If you get underneath it, it's not going to help their cause. That is a long hit. Terrific stuff.
Where do you bowl? You bowl the short one, you bowl the slower one. This one was fuller. They're all going. They just keep going.
That's right, Russ, and that's why you have a finisher, because your finishers can play equally strong with both front and back foot. A guy like Dasun Shanaka can do that. Samit Patel can do that as well. The only answer that the bowler has got to this is a change of pace. He's got to now start using his variations.
Kusal Perera, yes, you can see the frown on his face. He knows that he's going to have to make 200 again. That's not easy.
Last ball of this over. Oh, no, it's not. He's going to bowl another one. So that's 18 runs off over number 18. And there's still 1 more to go.
Nuwan Pradeep has an over. Anjula has another. Would they be his options? Outside that, of course, Naveen-ul Haq has an over. 15 fours, 8 sixes. Deflated a couple of days ago were the Candy Tuskers after making 219, and here once again.
Oh, he's underneath that also. Squeeze that away, backward square on the offside. That's a boundary. That's another My 11 circle champion shot. Nice way to finish the over. Huge over, 22 from it. 181 for 2. tall building is the biggest over so far in the tournament. 22 runs off over number 18. That's nicely bowled, but just still can't keep Patel quiet.
Yeah, I was trying to say that it is deflating, and when you look up at the scoreboard to make a big score again, no, you're going to have to charge a lot, because you've been just at the receiving end of shots like this, peppered all over. Short, full. Where's that second win for the Candy Tuskers going to come from?
As we said earlier, when we had a look at that, at his boundaries and his wagon wheel, we can see he's equally strong front and back foot, which makes it extremely tough, makes him an ideal finisher. The one thing we've all sort of forgotten just a little bit is that, along with Kusal Janeth Pereira, their best batsman, Kusal Mendes, has gone off the field, and that's going to severely hamper them as well.
Yeah, good point. No, Farm Patan. On the ground, nice and straight. There's another award that's going to be handed out at the end of this tournament. It's going to be the Cycle Incense Fair Play Award, which is instigated for spirit of the game displayed by the teams towards each other, the rules of the game, the game itself, and also the umpires. Halfway through the 19th over. Good stuff so far. 3 singles. That is beautifully played. That is outstanding stuff. Goodness me, he plays that superbly.
In the past, these options were not there. So you start bowling the Yorkers, you're getting away with it. Nuwan Pradeep was brilliant in the first 3 balls. And then the batsman brings this out and he produces a mile 11 circle champion shot.
Umpires weren't sure. They were having a look at that to see if it was a boundary. A 4 it was.
The game has changed so much. It's become so much more difficult for the bowler. Fine leg third man in the circle, yet they will maneuver it into those areas. Difficult lengths to hit down the ground. There you go.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Russ. If you can play that lap, because you see a lot of fielders, if you want to employ this position where you've got your long on, deep mid wicket, square leg back, and you got 2 guys out on the cover fence, you're going to bowl if you're going to bowl straight and full, and a batsman can lap, you force the bowler into doing something else. The minute he changes his length, Dasun Shanaka is good enough to clear his front leg, and so is Samit Patel to clear the front leg and hit it over mid wicket.
1 ball to go. Can Pradeep finish this? Tidy over so far. Oh, he does quite nicely through the legs in the end. Fingers on it too from Pereira. And the bottom line is it's a single, so that's okay. Still 9 off the over, 19 gone, 189 for 2. Does look like there's a little bit of a weather issue over there. Hopefully that's not coming our way. Let's hope that's gone well past us.
I think so, Hazy, because the scoreboard, look at the flags. It's blowing towards those clouds. So that means that cannot come this way.
Righto, good news then. Cries of catch it. I think it's going to fall safe though. Yes, it will.
But I'm known for getting a lot of these predictions wrong though.
We've got to watch out for the crows, don't we? Isn't that the story here? The crows start flying.
Interesting last over though. Nuwan Pradeep and that paddle from Dasun Shanaka. It was a premeditated shot, Mickey.
Yeah, it is. The paddle is premeditated, and you do that for a change in the field, particularly when there's a short fine leg or a short third man.
Just looking at that ultra slow-mo, ultra motion camera shot of the feet hitting the turf. It really is quite extraordinary that the fast bowlers do this so often for so long, yet they seem to be okay. All the pressure, 10 foot or 10 times their body weight through their front feet.
His
Front
second
foot, I
spell,
should
Nuwan
say.
Pradeep. He's trying to be full as he can. The batsman unable to get underneath it. They've used the paddle a couple of times. But Pradeep, unlike most others, has not changed his line. His length correction. Which is a great battle. How bowlers and batsmen think and try to put the others off.
Yeah, and Nuwan Pradeep is a very, very experienced death bowler. His execution is very good. His skill level is very, very good. He won't be two-faced because he will want guys to hit him off his area. As long as he's executing full and straight, he's doing his role.
4 balls left. Now there's 4 balls left. Lost his radar there totally.
Three in the deep on the leg side. Pradeep's gone for 46, but that really doesn't tell the story.
No, he'll be really disappointed. He'll be disappointed with that. He's a very proud man in terms of his skill. He wants that responsibility to bowl at the death.
Pressure on the bowler here, fine leg and third man inside the circle, both men back. So he's got to bowl straight, and he's got to bowl really with no pace. Down the ground. Is it going to be out? Should be out. Should be taken. Is taken. So that's a good change in the field.
Sikuge Prasanna takes the catch, had to run in, but the field was changed, but he had to get his line and length right. Hazy said it has to be straight. It was full as well. If not, Tasun Shanaka would have been able to get underneath it and hit it to the leg side. So he backed up the captain's plan by bowling that line and length and executing that delivery, Navinul Haq. Brilliant innings, captain's knock, 73 to Tasun Shanaka, 191 for 3.
Three balls left in the innings. Patel on strike. He waited for that. Slow ball. 3 men converging. And 1 wins. Tidy stuff. Stand was 127 off 69 deliveries, by the way. It's just been broken. This is absolutely okay as far as I'm concerned.
Well fielded out there. They've been better in the field today, the Candy Tuskers. Execution this over, Russ, as you've said, has been good. He's done a good job this over. All you can do is execute.
And now, to end the over, another point that's important.
It's gone high. This should be out as well. Should be taking an extra cover. It is taken. So a couple of wickets falling at the death of the innings. You expect that in the T20 format as batsmen try and go over the top and try and get maximum runs.
That was in the slot. Mid-off was in the circle. Samit Patel just pulled away a little too much. Ended up reaching for it. Gunaratne takes it. But he's done his job. He's done it well. 58 to Patel. 193 for 4.
I think the Tuskers will be very thankful this last over has been a very good one. A couple of wickets going down, conceding only the 4 runs so far. And there is 1 more left in the innings. 193 for 4 it stands. Short ball. And it's over the top eventually. And they're going to come back for the second. They do that. Finish up with 195. The Tuskers are going to have to do some batting, that's for sure. Conditions are pretty good though. It wasn't a bad last ball to try and pick up that last wicket. That has been an entertaining innings, that's for sure.
Yeah, the standout partnership there, Samit Patel and Dasan Shanaka, I thought they played really well. They got themselves in a really, really good partnership. 127 of 63, really, really well done.
They'll be happy. Put into bat, the Dambulla Viking started a little bit early, didn't go really to plan, they were unable to get off. But then that partnership, as you mentioned, Mickey Arthur has given them a very, very good score. Now that's a good sign. Kusal Mendis just trying out if he can get out there.
Yeah, that's going to be really important for the Kandy Tuskers, for him to get out there. I mean, we all know his prowess as a batsman. The key of that partnership, Russ, and I think you mentioned it, was the fact that they took their time, they got themselves in, and they took the innings deep. And that is always the key to getting a big score.
64 runs off the last 5, that is healthy. 61 runs from overs 10 to 15 is also good as well. Certainly have been some shots played in this innings, and in the end it's a pretty good total. 195 for 4. That partnership between Patel and Shanaka was really good, and Mendes didn't face anything in the end, obviously didn't get out there. And Dick Weller right at the top, 25, and Turunga for 18, and Dick Weller I think will still be cursing that dismissal of his. 2 for 43 for Naveen, 2 for 20 for Gunaratne. That's pretty tidy stuff. But right on top, Pradeep, I think, did a pretty good job. 4 overs, none for 46. He was given the bulk of the tough work to do. So I think they'll be reasonably pleased, the Tuskers, but at the same time, they will know they've got some work to do because they went down in that huge game in game number 1. They're going to have to become storming out because they need 196 runs to get. They've got 120 balls to face, we presume, because we think that storm has gone past us. And their target is going at just a shade under 10 runs to the over.